from Los Angeles, California with Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Oh, hi there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft. Joined once again by a man who is completely nude from the waist down and is currently displaying his boner for us like a Price is Right model. That's the dragon himself, Jeff Clark.
Hey, YouTube, you don't get to see my boner.
And beaming to us from inside a distant black hole, the intergalactic bearded being known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo, brat, brat.
Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy recording a little bit earlier.
As do I.
Bouncing around a little bit due to, work schedules, doctors, tattoo appointments. Next week, we're having some old friends back on the show, and we got to adjust the timing a little bit to accommodate for them, but I feel good when we do these. I got a little bit more energy going through my veins. I got time to chop all this stuff up and get it posted, and it's not fucking midnight and time to go to bed. I got a little bit of a boner. I'm matching Jeff. We're boner bros.
Yeah.
I do not have a boner, so
Maybe
we're
it would
all
help
on board
if,
with this, right?
all three of us mashed our tips together, and we just shared boner power and transferred it to you, Shuddy.
Boner energy? Tri-tip boner energy?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We might have to jump up a tier in Patreon for that. Or add a tier.
Yeah, we just turned our Patreon into
an OnlyFans.
This actually came up on, I think, either the Jason Ellis Show Patreon or maybe the main episode that's about to post. But so for people that don't subscribe to our Patreon, Shuddy Boy treats us every week at the end of the Patreon with Shuddy Boy's fucking news. And he, serves us up some wacky news stories. A lot of times it has to do with some goofball winning the lottery 5 times in one day or something like that, or some jerk-off who does very unimpressive world records every week. And I changed the description up in the Patreon episode. It's almost like the running show open gag where Jeff's jacking off and Shuddy Boy somewhere. I just put, like, another planet-busting edition of Shuddy Boy's fucking news. And change it up every week. So we also started putting video of the Patreon episodes up on the $10 tier, and I just copy and paste the episode description. And sometimes I make it a little sexual. Like I've put one time, the example I used was another fanny throttling edition of Shuddy Boy's fucking news. And when I copy and pasted it to the video episode and hit post, a warning message popped up. And it was like, it appears the post you're trying to make could be pornographic in nature. And it's like, you can hit post and it'll go up, but we're looking into this. We have our internet sleuths ready to go.
Sleuths.
And we're going to investigate your fanny throttling to see if indeed Shuddy Boy's anus takes a penis pounding. Because we don't like that here on Patreon. So I always just hit yes. I am confident that there is no actual fanny throttling in this video episode. Do your worst, web sleuths. So unfortunately, no, Jeff, we can't mash our dickheads together on a $20 tier or something. But
Okay.
We'd have to move it to OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We got to fully commit.
Wrong premium account. Forgot. Oh. Do you think OnlyFans, on average, OnlyFans accounts do better than Pornhub accounts?
I
I
mean,
think I'd rather subscribe to Pornhub accounts moving forward if I were to do either.
what then to pay for somebody's OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the person you're signing up for, because some people don't do porn. They're just like sexy, everyday girls that are like, yeah, I don't mind showing my bung piece for a few extra bucks every month. Sign up. And you're not going to see them on Pornhub.
No, but
Like
you're
like
also
you,
not
Jeff.
going to see them do the, get real nasty on OnlyFans. And if you do, it's usually like 3-minute snippets behind an even
Yeah, that's all I need.
further paywall. What's up?
That's
He
all I
said
need.
that's all he needs.
I mean,
fair enough.
like you, Jeff, you signed up for what was it?
Big Black Judy.
No, it was like wet floppers or something. Wet honkers.
Oh no, but I saw the girls or the account was Wet Melons, but I didn't sign up for it. It was just a Pornhub account
Wet
that I
melons.
found. I think you can donate money to their account, or you could get additional videos if you pay. But there's like 3 or 4 Wet Melon videos that are free that I've already favorited.
Oh, that's how I like my melons.
He's
Nice and
already
wet.
pinned him.
yeah, exactly.
Man, well, I know you guys in the Easter egg were itching to get right to it. So, speaking of web sleuths, should we dive into the homework assignment we gave ourselves from last week?
Yeah. Homework is a great word for it.
You guys were very charged up about this in the Easter egg, so I'm very excited.
To be fair, it was a fun watch. I watched it with my brothers the first 2 episodes, and it was fun because we were, talking shit, almost like it was like a supermarket queefs watch along. So that was fun, and I finished it. Like, it wasn't a problem for me finishing it. But
We should let people know what we're talking about.
So we're talking. I don't even know the name, but yeah,
it's very long. It's a very long
crime
clumsy-
scene.
Crime scene, Cecil Hotel, or something like that.
Elisa Lam in the Cecil Hotel, I think.
Yeah, it's very like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Poop. Like, just long running title, but harder to remember. We talked about it last week. It's a mini docuseries on Netflix about the Cecil Hotel and specifically the death of Elisa Lam, which was a really, really strange case when it first came out and very spooky and upsetting, and it seems like the media never really followed up on it. So I got very excited learning that a docuseries was coming to Netflix about it, because it certainly caught my attention when it first came out. And it seems like if the media just stayed on top of that story and didn't let it peter off after she was found dead, there wouldn't really have been a need for that docuseries.
Not necessarily, though, because the toxicology results were going to always take a while given how they found the body. And I think they didn't get like the final results in which they were willing to like button up the case officially until like 4 or 5 months later. And like in internet time, that's fucking a million years.
Even in regular news cycles, like they don't tend to follow up on older things. They just focus on like what's new and sexy. So like the video got released. A lot of people might have seen it, of like this woman that disappeared, and then they showed footage of her in an elevator. Just elevator doors just refusing to close. She's acting all weird and doing weird stuff with her hands and looking around like someone's after her and pushing every button. And then they found her dead body in the water tank on the roof of the fucking hotel, naked. And that was pretty much where a lot of it got left. And everybody's like, man, that is a really, really weird, fucked up story. It seems like there's a lot going on that we don't know or isn't being reported. And then the last thing I remember is they just closed the case and they're like, yeah, accidental death. And I was like, wait a second, that doesn't sound right. So yeah, we all 3 of us watched this 4-part docuseries, and I don't know. I saw a lot of bad reviews early on, and I was prepared for it to really suck. And while there was some stuff that was annoying, and it does seem like they stretched it out to get more episodes, and this could have been a concise, maybe like 90-minute 1-episode special.
I was so angry by the time it ended. It ended up being an episode and a half about Elisa Lam and 2.5 episodes about these fucking YouTube web sleuth jack-offs. Like, fuck. They were so infuriating.
They were.
It felt so tacky for them to go be at the hotel filming. I felt like such a cranky old man. Like that's how it made me feel, because I was like, it's so tasteless that they're there making YouTube videos, giggling and acting like it, you know, they're doing some great thing when they're really just doing it for the exposure and
The clout.
Yeah. And then them crying that it took 4 months to get the results and how they need to know what the answers are. And that one fucking douchebag who had to have somebody go to her grave and video him so he could have closure. Like, are you fucking kidding?
The biggest pussy. Like, if it matters that much, why don't you just fucking fly there? You fucking cornball. Oh, I'm with you on that one, Shuddy.
Like,
I'm with
it
you
was
on
so
the
infuriating how
shit.
these people spun this terrible situation into something that they needed closure on, and the LAPD owed them the answers, not the poor girl's family, not just to figure it out, but these fucking YouTube jackoffs were so perturbed and so upset that they needed these results from the LAPD. And if they're not getting them, then obviously the LAPD is fucking hiding something. Fuck these people.
Shuddy.
Get him, Shuddy.
Every single one of them. Oh, I was so angry when they.
Do we have their names? Because we're fellow YouTube stars. Let's fucking take shots at these pussies. Let's do a beef track. I didn't take their names. Fuck these pussies.
This is for the internet pussies.
You got shut the fuck down.
Kevin, stay the fuck out of the way. Stay the fuck out of the way. Go ahead, Shuddy.
They were throwing literally every possible piece of shit at the wall that they could come up with, hoping that something would stick and they would be right. Between blaming that guy who was there a full year before she was.
Oh, are you talking about death metal Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, morbid.
Nice. Like, we gotta get him a Zoom link. We gotta get him on here. Tell his side of the story.
He was there a year, the February before, so not even the same calendar year.
Yeah.
And they turned on him and fucking cyberbullied him to blaming the LAPD. Listen, the LAPD is notoriously sketchy. So I can understand why they go there, but it just, if they were patient and not acted like they had some fucking skin in this game.
I mean, it did show that. I mean, the LAPD really was busting their balls. Like, I really liked that guy who was like, yeah, once we got access to the tapes, they gave us an office, and I only like 20 hours a day. Me and this guy spent going through every second of every tape we were given. Like, we only slept 4 hours a day and just watched tapes just to, racing against the clock. Like, they busted their balls on this. So it was very annoying to see, like, these web sleuths, as they called them. What a horrible term, by the way. But, like, them just with this air of arrogance and entitlement, like, we are owed answers from the coroner and the toxicology, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh. And then when they would talk to some of those web sleuths and just the way they presented themselves, like, they featured this one woman who was like, so, like, I went and did some investigating. And that one sentence, I was just like, oh, I'm going into a fucking dimension of rage. It's a horrible way to kick off your point.
Yeah, what struck me, and I told you this the other day when we were talking on Fortnite, that, like, what struck me most was the sense of entitlement out of the fucking web sleuths. Like the LAPD owed you any information. Like it was like in that Little Things movie, or just whatever detective investigation movies, when two departments or two other police forces combine and they have to share each other's information. Like, the web sleuths felt like they were in that situation. Like, oh yeah, we're here to help the investigation. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, I stayed up for like 4 days in a row to watch surveillance tape. What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, I just pictured,
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then these fucking self-righteous asshole web sleuths didn't even do anything.
They did do something. They caught, like, a few things, but nothing too helpful.
Nothing that broke the case. It wasn't like don't fuck with cats.
Oh no. Yeah. You're right there. But
that's
they did,
what I'm saying. Like, okay, in don't fuck with cats, no matter how pretentious and sniffing their own farts they were, they actually did helped and got that.
That's true.
All taken.
Yeah,
it helped investigators button that up. There was nothing that these fart sniffers brought to the table that really gave the LAPD anything they didn't find on their own.
No, but one thing I guess they kind of did was just, because it was such a weird case with so many weird elements to it that they did kind of like, people were trying to like bring up supernatural shit. And one of the things they did when they went and stayed at the hotel, they're like, okay, this is the elevator. And they found that like, I forget what it was, but they kind of
door
explained,
hold button.
Yeah, they explained like if you push door hold, it's like an overzealous door hold button, so that's why the fucking thing stayed open for so long, because that was the thing that people were freaking out seeing the surveillance video. But like,
right,
I was picturing
sure
like what like they have the area cordoned off, like the Cecil Hotel is like tons of cops and detectives and the yellow tape, and then like some guy struts up, he's like, Detective Poopy Pie, YouTube, coming in, you're relieved. Like, the fuck are you guys doing? Come on.
Yeah, and these guys, like, they fucking partially ruined or tarnished that dude Morbid's life situation, got his social media accounts taken down, and now they get to hide behind the like fact of like, yeah, we didn't actually have all the details and the facts, so we were just reacting to what we knew. And it's like, well, no, the whole point of the fucking fraudulence of the web sleuth title is that you never have all the facts. You're not a fucking cop. You weren't at the crime scene. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, unless like in very specific situations, like in Don't Fuck with Cats, they connected dots. They did actual work. No one's taken away any of their fucking any of the credit they deserve for that. But like this situation was complete horseshit. And I feel like this documentary partially serves as like propaganda for police departments and the LAPD and propaganda against conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theory minded people. And Shuddy made an excellent point where it's like the LAPD is one of the most notorious, like corrupt, fucking shitty police departments in the country. And these web sleuths in this documentary made them out to look like fucking geniuses. Like, I mean, maybe this department or the guys who's handle this are just good cops, like whatever. Obviously they are, but like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Like these web sleuths were just so terrible, so terrible. And I do like the pacing of the documentary because honestly, when you get to the end of it and they explain the whole Lisa Lam death or the official death that they put on record, the story is buttoned up inside of fucking 10 minutes. Like it's pretty easy. Like it's not.
There was some stuff about the documentary, like learning a little bit of the history of Skid Row was interesting. The history of the hotel was interesting. Yep. They did so. Like it eventually, like the Cecil Hotel started out like as some grand thing, but quickly plummeted into just a shithole for crackheads and prostitutes and homeless people and stuff. Like it's basically like, what like a 20-story halfway house or something like that. So
it's Schenectady, New York. It's where I was born. Right after the Great Depression and the GE plant fucking took a shit, Schenectady, New York went down. Right, a little after the Great Depression, the Cecil Hotel turned into a fucking flop house.
Yeah,
like,
and it stayed that way because it's in Skid Row. So like the one of the ways, I guess, because they have people that live there, like that are just residents. Like they're not just staying there; they fucking live at the Cecil Hotel because I guess they work out some sort of deals where they get.
It's a low income housing with the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So they have to they're a residential hotel, so they have to allow residents to stay.
Yeah. So like
it's terrible, but essentially they panhandle well enough to move out of Skid Row inside a building. Like,
yeah.
That's
as
pretty much
horrible
what
as it
is.
is. But like,
yeah,
they also managed to like dupe foreign tourists, which was what Elisa Lam was. She was from Canada, and they just like, hey, I want to go check out LA. Oh, this place is in downtown. Look at these fucking rates. People that don't, really fully understand Skid Row or the area, they're just like, downtown LA, awesome. That sounds where everything is. And sometimes it's even packaged in these internet travel deals where it doesn't even list the name of the fucking hotel. It's just like, dude, the rates are $20 a night. You're staying in downtown LA at this hotel. So they chronicled this like European couple who were just like, yeah, we wanted to take a vacation, so we stayed there. They got there as Elisa Lam disappeared and were like, what the fuck did we get ourselves into? And they stayed past the point of them discovering her body. So another one of the grossest details of the story that was, made public when this all went down was people in the hotel were noticing changes in the water pressure, discoloration of the water, and funny tastes of the water because they were drinking her decomposing body. And like, as horrible as that is, could you imagine staying in a dump like the Cecil Hotel and having the foresight to complain about water pressure or the taste of the water? Like, after checking in and seeing in my room, I would be like, oh, the water in this place is going to taste like shit. I'm not taking a fucking sip of it.
Wait, what was that English couple's vacation budget margins were? Like, how do you not walk into that place, get into your room, be like, oh, okay, we got to go to a different hotel. Holy shit.
I thought the same exact thing.
$20 a night versus what you would pay for another hotel in Los Angeles.
I mean, well, yes, there is a reason for that. Like, what are you like they base their whole travel from England to LA around them getting $20 per night lodging or
well, that's because that is the norm in Europe. Hostels aren't, so they thought they were getting the same type of hostel experience.
Agree.
They were going to get in Europe, so they probably did not have the budget for an actual hotel.
And I could see that happening because, like, it did seem like they stayed there for quite some time. So if you're going to LA for like maybe a week or like a long weekend or something, sure, splurge and be like, fuck this hotel. I'm going to pay a little bit more a night and just get like a real place. But if your whole budget was like, hey, if we're staying here for 2 weeks, we got to pay $20 a night. We can't afford 2 weeks at like, $150, $200 a night hotel. And they even said the same thing. Like when they checked in and looked at the room and just their jaws dropped and they were like, this is a fucking nightmare. They had the same thought. This was a thought I had the first time I went to Japan. They're like, okay, this is fucking disgusting and it's cramped and tiny. We'll only be here to sleep. We'll be out on the town all day. We'll come home, sleep, wake up, and then get the fuck out of here all over again and have adventures. You can't really do that when you have to go back at night and walk through fucking Skid Row, which is sketchy to walk through in broad daylight, let alone the fucking dead of night.
Yeah, they stayed in Josh Baskin's fucking hotel in Big, the first one. Brutal, man. I can't imagine.
Accurate.
And like, I feel sorry for them because I'm American. I'm not unfamiliar with LA before moving here, but I wouldn't have known downtown LA was as dirty and Skid Row was as big as it was. And I've mentioned this, I don't know how many times over the years of doing this podcast, but like, it's legit depressing. I think what downtown LA looks like. I worked at Staples Center. The first year I was here, and like essentially that Skid Row was right there. They just built Staples Center in LA Live and just pushed it over a little bit. But like you got that same, like I would see all this shit like a half mile away from where I worked, and like I worked for the National Basketball Association team, $1 billion fucking organization in downtown LA. And like, it was stunning to see some of that shit. And then like you said earlier, you kind of alluded to it. The Skid Row shit was the most fascinating part of the documentary. I never knew it was it was 56 square blocks. Like I never knew it was that big. I thought it was like a few blocks, but like what?
Oh, it's massive.
56? Like what's Watts? Like how big is Watts? Like 56 square blocks is. You guys need a fucking mayor. Like, what the fuck is? What is that? I don't know. It's depressed. Like that was like the biggest bummer. But like the English couple, dude. Like when I couldn't help but laugh because when they got to like the part in the conversation with those guys where they mentioned drinking the tap water, it's like, wait a second. On top of all this, you guys actually drank. Like, I know that neighborhood. There's a 7-Eleven a few blocks away from the Cecil Hotel. Get fucking bottles of water. What are you doing?
When they showed up in the first episode, I'm like, what the fuck are these? What do these British people? What does this British couple have to offer to this other than they stayed at the Cecil? And then when that part started to come up, I go, oh no, that's where they get tied in. They're the unfortunate people that complained because the water tasted bad. Oh no,
their level of importance and like the character arc or whatever, the documentary for them was the greatest out of anyone there. Besides like the LAPD, every documentary about crime going into it that has the LAPD, I just automatically assume the worst of the LAPD because that's what we get. And they come out looking like fucking geniuses, these guys. And, obviously there's, they're not all bad apples in the police. But yeah, I mean, that's what pissed me off is there's a pretty wide spectrum and definition and range of like what a conspiracy theory person or minded person is, like what makes up that profile. I consider myself conspiracy theory minded mostly because like I like hearing theories about the deep state or about like going to like aliens, JFK, stuff like that. But like that's kind of where I stop.
Yeah.
But like I'll listen to conspiracy theories about the police department and the justice system. Like that, the first season of Making the Murder, the most fascinating shit was the cops, being fucking weird or looking corrupt. So it was just like it gave me conspiracy theory blue balls. This documentary, like. It just now I can't even like if I read a documentary description or I see a trailer that alludes to conspiracy theories, I'm going to be like less excited to watch it now.
I mean,
and I have a bone to pick with you too, Kevin. Go ahead, you can
bet.
make a point, but
it kind of just doesn't this also kind of illustrate just how there was one very, very, very simple piece of information that they just didn't have that completely explained this whole situation. But the fact that they didn't have that piece of information, they went as far as fucking blaming the movie Dark Water. Like, oh, maybe Dark Water killed Elisa Lam, the movie. And it's just like, you guys have lost your fucking minds. And it's because people are just so desperate to explain something that they can't understand that they will go to fucking Ghost did it, Supernatural did it, a fucking movie did it, and then just like that one piece of information, they get it, and then they all just ate shit at the end. They were like, I feel like a fucking idiot. I went so far off base. Doesn't that kind of speak for a lot of conspiracy shit going around? Like, you're so willing to speculate, and if one little piece fits, you just fully commit to it, no matter how asinine or absurd it is. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. Again, it depends. Like I said, there's a spectrum and there's like a range of conspiracy theory people. I'm just saying that mostly just so I can clear my own name, I guess, because I like conspiracy theory shit. But like sometimes, like they're fucking stupid, and I feel like I'm logical enough to an extent to admit when it sounds ridiculous. And then these fools sitting there saying, well, then at that point, we're thinking, is there a conspiracy between the hotel and the police department to cover up her death? It's like, who has anything to gain from that? The hotel has 80 deaths per year. This isn't even something that like that anyone loses sleep over. Like whatever. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
When they said that someone at the hotel bribed the LAPD, I was like, are you fucking, that's What?
Okay, all right.
What?
You guys, we can just say stupid things, and like you don't have to connect like any logical thread through any of it. Like, oh yeah, maybe it was Dark Waters, maybe it was LAPD and the hotel. You know, like a worker killed them or killed her, and they didn't want to arrest it. Like, what the fuck?
If somebody
Why would they not?
Somebody could not afford to bribe the LAPD for everything that happens at the Cecil Hotel in a given day, let alone a month. They were saying there were 3 to 4 911 calls a day, and then like
Easily.
80 deaths a year, or 80 deaths a year.
Like that.
So like if somebody's
I'd go under on both.
Somebody's greasing palms to keep the LAPD from looking too deeply, all you're doing is giving away money.
Yeah,
and like the guy who would have been the biggest suspect, I forget his name, a janitor who doesn't even speak English. Like what is he going to bribe the LA? He's going to pay the LAPD to help him cover up a murder. Like, the first thing the LAPD is looking for and would hope for is like, oh, hopefully a janitor killed her. We can wrap this investigation up in 3 fucking days and we're good. Like even if we can plant some evidence on the janitor, we'll fucking do it because that's the LAPD. They couldn't even like entertain that. Like it's just like, they just made fucking the police look like geniuses and conspiracy theories like fucking dumb, and I'm butthurt about that. I am, because they murdered JFK and now we look stupid for thinking that. And hold on, my bone to pick with you, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
You apparently did follow the story after it happened because you spoiled something for me. I didn't know they found her in the water tank, and as we're watching that, they don't mention it until the end of episode 2. And like, it was kind of a mystery the first 2 episodes of where her body was and where she was. And I didn't know. And
Really?
I don't think they said it in the trailer. So like, my brothers are sitting there watching like, oh, I wonder where the body, they mentioned it. Like,
how did you guys not know that? That was pretty...
That's what I thought. I thought that was
pretty
a huge
common knowledge.
Part of, like,
that was all I knew about her was the elevator video and that her body was found in the water tank unexplained.
I knew nothing about her. And like they were saying in the documentary, and I remember us talking about this. I talked to Puminati about this as well recently, but I remember us talking about this. This was right during the time with Christopher Dorner. Remember that former LAPD cop that went rogue and started killing LAPD police officers. So like in the documentary they talk about, they literally have to like take dudes off the investigation because they're being hunted. They're like, oh fuck, we gotta find this guy.
They had 18 detectives on the case at the start of it, and then within days it went down to 2.
Yeah, and like I remember that. Like that's a story I'll remember for the rest of my life, and I had no idea of any like real LA story at the time. Like nothing else stands out to me like that. And so I had no idea about this, and you straight up spoiled it for me and all the listeners, all the millions of Puminati out there. You fucking ruined it, you piece of shit.
I thought that was a huge thing, and people were like, oh man, I can't believe people are drinking the water and they said it tasted funny. Yeah. That was like a huge thing that got reported.
Yeah,
just like the diva you are, true to your diva self, you refuse to accept any responsibility for your wrongdoing.
Well, even Diva Shuddy is teaming up with me on this one. We
call this the little bronification of podcasting.
Well, then who does that make Shuddy? Because Shuddy's on my side on this one.
Tristan Thompson.
I wish I got that reference.
That's a joke way over your head. Yeah. Someone laughed at home.
I did find that very strange that they were dragging that bit of information out, like, but that was another thing. Like, I feel like they did that just to get more time and more episodes. Like, one of our earliest criticisms when we started this discussion was this didn't need to be 4-hour-long episodes. It could have been squished up in a tighter package.
Kevin, the point of the story, the point of the documentary was the frenzy and nonsense that was whipped up while they were looking for the body, and while the toxicology reports are coming in, the frenzy whipped up by the internet sleuths and just fucking trolls. So
I mean, that
that's
was
why-
only a blip. Like after they found her, that wasn't like the web sleuths were like, oh, okay, well, our job is done here. That only like pushed them even further. So it wasn't like that was a selling point to work the web sleuths into this narrative.
They wove it all together, man. Like,
all right. Well, at this point, we're just splitting hairs.
fair enough. It's just, yeah, that one dude, like Shuddy was saying, and I think you were saying, the guy who FaceTimed his friend who touched her grave and was fucking getting all emotional. That guy was the worst. Such a fucking pussy. And hearing like the worst moment in the entire documentary was hearing this fucking guy talk about just how devastated and how surprised and stunned he was when they found her body. Like, and just all I thought about at that moment was like, dude, the fucking look on the parents' faces during that press conference, they knew it. It was terrible.
Awful.
And for you to be on fucking Netflix talking about how crushed you were, like, you piece of shit. You're such a fucking phony. Like, her family, her friends are gonna watch that, and you get the fucking screen time. You and your little fucking pussy ass, whatever, trolls, fellow web sleuths, ruin that one guy's whole fucking brand over nothing. Like, you find out one little detail, the easiest thing for the cops to investigate, which is, was this guy actually at the Cecil Hotel at the time? Oh no, it was a year ahead of time, or a year before. Like, and then you're all like, well, sorry, our bad. Like, fucking retards. Like, yeah, that guy is so infuriating. I wish him poverty. I hope he moves to fucking Skid Row. Where the fuck does that retard live?
Yeah, and I honestly really hope that her friends and parents and family don't watch this, because, man, that's so fucking crushing. What a horrible, horrible thing. I feel so bad for all of them. Just brutal.
She's off her meds. Sucks.
Brutal.
Sucks.
And I
It's
got
something
people
I don't get.
I got people in my life that battle with that, and I've seen that behavior in them, and it's heartbreaking. There's fucking nothing you can do. It's just a shit lottery that some people you just get at birth. Like, some people just have that, some people don't. And if you don't have it, you're fucking lucky. And if you do get it, you got a fucking shit hand. I worked with Brody Stevens on his TV show. Wow. He suffered from being bipolar, and him staying on his meds was a tough thing. Like, even being medicated and taking it isn't a guarantee. Like, you'll have a nice long stretch of just solid, relatively positive mental health, and something tells you to stop taking the fucking meds, you stop taking it, you go off the deep end, and the fucking poor guy hung himself. Like, Brody was a great dude. It was horrible. One of the better, Ozark season 2. That was like one of the better, smaller storylines, was the Wendy's brother. Yeah.
That's something that I'm pretty ignorant to, just the whole chemical imbalance thing and what people have to go through when managing that, because I don't know of like any like close friend or like, I know, well, you got, I know you take some medication or.
Yeah, but I'm nowhere. I'm not bipolar. I don't have anything to that extent.
Right. I don't know anyone. There's no one in my immediate family, and none of like my close friends in my inner circle that struggle with that. So like, I'm pretty ignorant to that.
I've got a family member. I've got a guy in my immediate family who, it seemed to be a thing that progresses as he gets older. So like, he's married, he's got kids, and the older he gets, the worse it gets. And like, there used to be these big gaps in between when he would go manic. And, there would be like a month where he would just be a completely different person. And then it started happening more frequently, and his manic episodes started lasting longer and longer. And, it fucks with the family, it fucks with his kids, it fucks with his wife, and he's having a really rough go. And it's brutal shit. And they did focus a decent point of the documentary on that, but holy fuck, do I feel bad for her family.
Yeah. At least there was a happy ending, though. Tumblr's no longer around, so that's good.
Is Tumblr gone?
Yeah, I think it is, right?
I don't know. Like you said you were watching it with your brothers. I actually just set up a puzzle and left it on autoplay, so I was just like listening and absorbing stuff while doing a puzzle, so I wouldn't just get like all fidgety on the couch.
Nope,
I was-
Tumblr still exists.
What's the one? Oh, I'm thinking of Vine, I think. Vine was actually pretty cool, too. Just got swallowed by Snapchat and Instagram stories.
Yep. So do we do dick ratings on docuseries?
Yeah.
I'm down. I mean, yeah, since we watched it through all together and we put it as homework, we can rank this one. I think it's fair. I'll give it... Yeah.
It's a tough
I'm
one,
going to give it a
isn't
3.25. Actually, I'll give it a 3.5 because I did have the benefit of the homie or brother commentary, and it was fun to just like rip on these web sleuths as we're going through that. I don't know. I'm bummed out of how underwhelming like the story itself was, but it was they were legit and true documentary villains. Like fuck those pussies.
Yeah.
So I guess I did get some entertainment value out of it. That's my explanation behind the 3.5 blowjobs I'm giving Elisa Lamb's corpse. That's terrible.
Oh God.
Just terrible. Edit this.
Can't edit. It's YouTube. Can't edit. Can't chop videos.
I'm gonna get some more bad comments.
Yeah. Well, you know what you did, Jeff. You know what you
Yeah.
did.
It
Shuddy,
was
what
worth
do you?
it. It helps
what do
my
you-
brand.
What are you giving it?
I'm giving it 2 dicks.
2. Harsh. The Shuddy hammer. I'll give it 3. I feel like it could have been squished down. And I also, some of the stuff that struck me as weird was like YouTube sleuths reenacting their reactions to things. Like there was a voiceover of like, I hope she's okay. I wonder where she went. You remember that part? I found that very weird that they were doing that.
It's I do have an issue with these web sleuths, like their brands improving because of Netflix, essentially. Like you guys were so fucking wrong and so negligent and just acted poorly, and you don't deserve any run here, any fucking screen time. And man, I wish I knew their names. Actually, it's better that I don't. Fucking just group of pussies, man. Group of pussies. Have either one of you guys entertained the idea of listening to Morbid? Because I know you're both death metal fans.
From what I heard in the documentary, I had no.
Too dark or not dark enough?
I just didn't like the way it sounded.
Yeah, me neither. I try
Too
not to
Mexican.
be a death metal snob. Like I'm not out to call anybody like a death metal poser. Like if you like death metal, you like death metal. But
Right. It's how I am with like Eminem versus Little Uzi Vert.
I guess
Like we're not in the same lane here. I'm snobbish. Sorry, go ahead.
I just feel like he strikes me as somebody that maybe doesn't understand death metal. Like he might listen to some good bands, but his interpretation of it, of being like,
Ooh, I'm scary. Gonna
It's
get
a
ya.
brand.
like his lyrics are very literal with the stuff he was coming up with. And Morbid, like your death metal name is Morbid? That's a little on the nose. Like you don't want to pick like a demon's name out of the Bible or some shit, or Morbid.
I mean, what about Cannibal Corpse? You love them, don't you?
That's a cool name. Cannibal Corpse. Morbid is just all right. You get an F for effort for that one. Like
I'm Captain Spooky Pants. Listen to
What
my
would you
death
add
metal.
to it then? Let's do. How about Morbid Sex? No, be like a
that's-
death R&B group.
yeah, exactly.
I wonder what that sounds like. Death R&B.
Also, you're tossing out
man.
like a death metal. That sounds like a band name if you were going to go Morbid Sex, not like the name of a dude, a band member.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So a biblical gargoyle, if you will. Okay. All
Because
right. I
like
get what-
there's a death metal band that I love called Carcass, and you can make the argument Carcass. All right, that's a little on the nose,
you absolutely could.
but
yes.
I feel like it's more acceptable as a name than as a person. Like if the guy was like, "Thanks for coming out to my show. My name's Carcass," I'd be like, "Back to the drawing board with you."
It all boils down to your music. Because Prince, Prince is a pretty blah name, but Prince fucking rules, so Prince was anytime Prince would sign off, if he would. I mean, I guess he didn't really, but if he signs off, this is Prince, peace out, or whatever. However he signs off, everyone's crowd's gonna go nuts. It's fucking Prince.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming out. My name is Squiggly Symbol.
yeah, dude. Prince, but all right, whatever. Fuck Morbid, I guess. I mean, yep. I hope your brand does better because those web sleuths butt fucked you.
It was sucks, buddy. That's the thing where it bit him in the ass of being too literal. Like, I am going to drown you in perhaps China. And they're like, oh, well, she drowned and she's Asian. Get him. Like that's where it helps to be a little more poetic in your death metal lyrics.
Right. Use more pronouns and specific nouns. I don't know.
I'll drown you perhaps in China.
You could tell these fucking web sleuths don't know any death metal nerds, though. I mean, I feel like
that is
death
true.
Metal fans and people are generally like the least violent type of people because they kind of get it out with the death metal.
They are dorks. If there's anything I've learned from death metal, like being a death metal fan, going to shows for decades, we're dorks. Fucking.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned Cannibal Corpse, the lead singer, sweet name. Corpse Grinder, fucking D&D guy, and or a Warcraft guy. He fucking loves Warcraft.
They're all D&D, Magic, Warcraft dudes. Literally, like the rate of death metal artists who play one of those games or an RPG or whatever is probably at like 95%.
Oh yeah, and they're generally, I would say 95% of the death metal community are some of the nicest people you ever meet. There are some dickheads that go in the pit because they're like, I feel like hurting somebody. I want to punch somebody in the face. But 95% of them, I went to an Amon Amarth show with my ex, who she likes fucking country and EDM. And she was this 5-foot little Thai girl wearing like something she would wear out for a night at the club at a death metal show. And old fart me, I like to hang out by the bar now. And it was a packed show. And some guy looked over and saw her and was like, oh, look at this tiny little thing. Here, cut in front of me. Get up on the divider so you can see the band better. Like, they're just nice, thoughtful people.
Sure, there are some bad apples, like you were saying, but hey. No, I one of my homies who I worked with in upstate New York. He was like he was like who I smoked pot with a lot when I moved home for a couple years or for a year before I moved to LA in between my New York City college days and my LA current days, who is a huge death metal fan. And like one of the trade-offs that I had, because he was like the only dude that I knew, or one of the only guys that I knew who I got along with and always had marijuana and would always be down to smoke. So like one of the trade-offs is every now and then I'd have to listen to death metal with him. And that was pretty lame, but like, hey, at least he had a sick bong and was chill to smoke with. Our music tastes overlapped. Like he was into Rage Against the Machine and Tool and bands that I could listen to. So whatever, he would usually put that on, but every now and then playlists would run some death metal. But huge World of Warcraft fan, and I think one of the bands that he listens to, like most of the lyrics is based on like World of Warcraft and like D&D and like. And that's a pretty like consistent thing with like death metal and like hardcore metal or whatever the terms are for it. And it's like a lot of these guys are nerds, and these fucking web sleuths are like a degree removed or a few degrees removed from them. And it's like, you guys don't know your ass from your elbow. If you would have known in 2 seconds the Morbid guy is not violent in any way, fucking shape or form. He's probably the chillest dude on your block, actually.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. He was there a year before this even happened. So it's not like, so they don't even need to go through all of that when he wasn't even there.
Well, they didn't get, again, to their point, Shuddy, the fucking LAPD wasn't emailing them. They weren't emailing them. They didn't
Jeff,
know.
They saw a video of him at the Cecil Hotel, which was which would have
must
been
not have been.
kinds-
Oh, okay. I thought it wasn't.
It would have had to have been posted a year beforehand. He doesn't wait a year to post the video of him hanging out at the Cecil.
Right. Right, but that's so common sense that I feel like it must not have been time stamped, or it must have been time stamped inaccurately, right? Because like as shitty as these web sleuths are, make no mistake, the biggest takeaway from this documentary is how just fucking lame and terrible they are. But like that's one that even they probably didn't fuck up, right? It had to be like wrongly or inaccurately time stamped, right?
No.
Like I thought the police investigation into that guy turned up that he was at the Cecil Hotel because he was at the Cecil Hotel a year before her body because they didn't have that detail. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything really.
Yeah.
Or
We're spending too much time talking about this.
Yeah.
I had fun talking about it.
Yeah, we got to
Skid Row.
We got to really go into Jeff's forte, which is true crime documentaries. This is Jeff's favorite episode so far.
I know, absolutely, dude. Every time I watch one of these and I review them, I essentially just hear crickets in this fucking Zoom call. No one, you guys didn't watch or don't care nearly as much as I do. So putting this on the plan or a schedule ahead of time, and you guys watching it, I thought made a nice conversation. And I'm sure YouTube, as friendly and wholesome as they are, would agree and are going to leave a lot of wonderful comments about this.
Oh, yeah, I agree, Jeff.
you better, you fucking diva.
Well, I watched a movie that I could just do a quick thing on, so we don't spend too much of the podcast doing reviews. I know this is not a question for Jeff because the answer is no. But Shuddy, have you heard of a movie called Psycho Goreman?
No.
Isn't that a bit on the nose for a death metal band?
I saw it had a trailer that kind of got some traction on YouTube because of its silly nature. It looked like it was funded by Shudder, so it's like a comedy horror movie that's sort of low budget about these kids that find the corpse of a vicious alien warlord in their backyard, and they take his gem, which leads them to command him. So they basically have a psychotic intergalactic warlord as their slave under their control. And it had like a bit of like an 80s vibe to it. So I know a lot of people were pumped off the trailer, but I think it's like rental only on Amazon. So I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll give that a watch. And it was very, very interesting. You could tell I give them props for doing as much as they did, which was very clearly a low budget. It was almost like if Gwar remade Big, because it had a lot of rubber costumes, a lot of practical effects, and buckets of gore and blood. And you could kind of tell they got some of the actors, like they hired them outside of like a local theater in a rural town in Utah or something. But flaws aside, enjoyable flick if that's something that speaks to you. If you want practical gore, silly sci-fi horror movie. I kind of dug it.
You said it was Psycho Corpse Gore? What is it called again?
Psycho Goreman.
Psycho.
Yeah, strange flick. I'm going through my notes. I'll give it 3.5 dicks. It was solid. It was like a fucked up R Power Ranger movie directed by Gwar.
All right. 3 blowjobs and a hand job for Psycho Goreman.
That's fair. I appreciate what they did. It was very, very different. Cool flick if that's your gimmick. Shuddy, I have some news that's going to piss you off.
Oh boy.
Have you heard about a popular movie that is going to be getting a TV reboot?
I have not. Or maybe I have, and I'm just not as upset about it, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, this is a movie you're on the record for that pisses you off. The Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, True Lies.
Oh, I'm not. No, that's not. It doesn't piss me off. I enjoy that movie. It's not as good as you guys think it is.
Oh,
That's for sure.
That's a terrible take. Before you say any more, Kevin, John Cena should play that role. Who's in it?
I don't think they've cast it yet, but you know what? Now that I'm doing the mental pictures,
send him this YouTube link.
I think you're onto something, Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it's being written by the guy who created Burn Notice. I've never watched Burn Notice.
Because John Cena, he's after my time on wrestling, and I know you're never really a big wrestling fan, but you've seen him in movies and stuff. John Cena has enough going on, enough in the bag where he could play an awesome leading man in True Lies. Like, he could be a family man, or like wholesome, like whatever, like father or man of the house, and be like this badass assassin dude, like Moonlight does that, or like that's his career.
He's certainly
he
jacked
can pull
enough.
that off.
He's jacked enough to be like in
Right.
Schwarzenegger's league.
I think he's a pretty good actor. You've seen him in movies before, right?
I like
So
him.
McG is directing the pilot.
Yeah, where he's got a bit of a spotty track record, but I've said it before. I think I've even said it recently. I think he gets too much shit for that Terminator Salvation movie. I thought that was a cool flick. I like that one. Yeah.
I feel like I don't like that guy. I'm gonna IMDb him. Hopefully this goes better for me.
I think he did.
McG.
He did like Charlie's Angels. I think.
Yeah, I didn't even really watch Charlie's Angels.
I don't think I did either, but I liked. A lot of people shit on Terminator Salvation, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was a worthy installment. So I'm down to give it a shot. But like, this is where I get bummed out with when TV networks try to pull off movie caliber shit. Like, Shuddy Boy, I'm sure you've kept up with WandaVision.
I have not watched this most recent episode yet, but no, no.
It's sick, and you've seen the previews for
Captain America or
Falcon and
Winter Soldier. Yes,
yeah, looks sick. It looks like it's on par with the Marvel movies. I feel like anytime network TV takes a stab, you get that just dollar bin grade, saccharine tasting special effects stuff that, I don't know, it really ruins it for me. I know people were really into the Flash TV series and and Arrow and the whole DC universe they created there, but it really takes away from me when the CG and the production just has that taste of a TV show. It's almost like, just save that stuff for the fucking movies. Just let it be.
I gotta back up for a second. I was looking up McG and I got distracted. Did you say there's going to be a Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show?
Yes.
Disney?
It comes out like soon, very soon.
I think it times up for when they run out of WandaVision episodes, they kick into Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I don't really know much about Falcon, but Winter Soldier, that was Captain America 2, right?
Yes.
That was one of the few Marvel movies that didn't suck ass.
It's an awesome movie.
Right? You're of the thinking and opinion that that's an typically underrated or unspoken, maybe, Marvel movie in the Marvel universe.
I think it gets its due. As somebody who loves all the Marvel movies, that is one that is clearly in the highest echelon. Like, the action's awesome and the story is cool. Yeah. And if, there might be some people, I've talked to some people who are like, yeah, I watch all the Marvel movies in the theaters, but I never really revisit them. And man, I revisited Winter Soldier, and holy shit, what a fucking movie.
Winter Soldier is an excellent movie.
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, kicks ass.
It's kind of weird.
But it's also weird that, like, Disney Plus, clearly they got deep fucking pockets, so they can make series that match the quality of the movies, where they're clearly not taking a step down in the CG or anything. But I don't know, man. I just feel like anytime they do the TV stuff, a lot of people seem to be able to overlook it, but it's tough for me. I guess, Jeff, I'm just a diva.
If this episode and just all of 2021 has said anything to us, it is that you're a diva. You get fired from your serious job, and look at you. All of a sudden, you got the world by the balls.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to bow to your feet.
Oh, look at fucking unemployed homeless Kevin. Thinks he's king shit.
Yeah. Hot dogging it all the time here
I mean,
on MSPH. Where I saw you. You don't even get to talk right now, Shuddy. You're on your computer firing someone over there.
You won't even be homeless because you have Poop Slime Alley. You just literally have to move your stuff right outside.
Yeah.
It's a real stretch to call Poop Slime Alley a home, Shuddy.
You live in like 3 neighborhoods.
Wow. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got some time. Shuddy,
Voicemails?
I don't know why. I'm picking up a sense you got something on your mind.
I don't.
Oh.
I was waiting to see what you had on your mind.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, why don't we take a listen to some...
Voicemails, yay! That's what I was hoping you would say.
Me too.
It's always fun to check in with the Puminati. Voicemails are usually nice.
It's 95% of the time fun.
Unless, you know...
Hyper Chris makes an
shows
appearance.
up. All right, let's see here. Fuck, where did we leave off? I think this is it. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, it's doing it again. Okay, so you guys are my witness. You just heard voicemails yay play, right?
Yep.
When I played our voicemail, it played out through the speakers of the iPad. We need web sleuths on this. I think either the iPad is haunted or somebody at Apple bribed the LAPD. Because this doesn't make sense.
It could be a government conspiracy because we know too much.
No, I remember
trying to put the tuberculosis in the homeless population.
No, I remember a situation like this happening in a season of 24. I think it was season 3, episode 8. And I'm getting 24 vibes. Maybe the iPad is behaving like Jack Bauer would.
Good pull, Jeff. All right, let's try this again. Fuck yeah.
Let's eat a what? You think you can eat F on here? Let's do it.
Oh my God. Are we going to die in 7 days now?
That sounded like me last night. Stay tuned to the Patreon for that story.
Oh.
I thought I heard let's eat ass.
I heard let's do this at the end.
Yeah, like I'm going to eat ass. Let's do this. That's what I thought I heard.
Should we give it another listen?
It was a pretty shitty voicemail. But
Okay.
yeah, go, if you want.
Well, nah, we don't have to.
All right, cool.
That was spooky. Yikes. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe this human has actual words to say.
Yo, this is a random caller, just, calling in to ask a question for Dr. Steve. And again, random fucking caller here. Let's say I'm asking for a friend as well, that he was at work and, and then there was an acai bowl on there, and then this guy sat on it, and it went up his asshole, and it's very, very inflamed, and also my dick hole. So, it's for my friend's dick hole. I gotta go. Ask Dr. Steve.
Nice try, Shuddy. We all know that was you.
Yep. Sorry. Damn it. You caught me.
I hope your dick hole is feeling better after having an acai bowl.
It was for a friend. He's fine.
Don't want to talk about it, I guess. Huh?
Let's see what this guy says, or lady.
Hey, boys. This is Big T up in Canada here. Love your show. You guys are fucking awesome. I'm new to this, new listener. Yeah. Shuddy, you're fucking awesome.
Thank
Jeff,
you.
you're fucking awesome. Kevin, you're awesome.
Oh, I made
I've
the
never
cut
been
too.
so laughing so
Gonna go right
hard
to
and
his head.
so grossed out at the same time listening to Shuddy pulling shitty underwear out of the wall. That was fucking awesome. Love you, boys. Have a good one.
Who could forget? Who could forget where they were when they heard Shuddy Boy talking about pulling shitty underwear out of his wall? I know. I was right here. I'll never forget.
I was over there when I told you guys about it.
Just one of the grossest stories in MSPH history, really.
All right, let's take a shot at this one.
Hey, boys. Big fan of the show. Fucking love listening to you. Jeff, I'm trying to find a third podcast here. I need some sports advice. I'm getting my fucking ass handed to me this year. What is it? Can you guys announce it on the radio there? I looked it up. I couldn't find it. All right. I got to take a shit. Peace out.
Nice sign off.
Thanks. It was a tough year for me in the NFL. I don't know what you're betting on, but I had to claw to get to 50% on the year. It's a bummer. My podcast I do for USA Today Sports. It's called Bet Slippin' Podcast. We're in a bit of a transition now because of no NFL season. You get all sports podcasts pretty much revolve around the NFL season like it's the fucking sun because it's the easiest to talk about. It's got the most attention, and they play the game once every day or once every week. So the podcast makes sense. You know what I mean? Like doing a podcast about NBA betting is tough because the podcast really only has longevity for like one day, if that. So, but it's called Bet Slippin' Podcast. Thanks for asking to do for USA Today Sports. Comes out every week. I think we're doing Tuesdays now. So thanks.
Yeah, I know you threw that out there vaguely once and then just glossed over it. So I didn't know if I should press you on it.
No, it's not like that at all. It's part of my brand.
You were very cagey about it the one and only time it came up. You're like, I have this other podcast, but we're not going to talk about it.
Well, okay, so I don't know. All right,
don't step in shit, Jeff.
I have a lot of fun making jokes about some of the sports betting, like fuckery or losses that I take here on this podcast. But like, I am pretty buttoned up and serious about like sports betting generally, and more so on that podcast. And just sometimes I'm a little hesitant to shout that stuff out, even though. Like a lot of these homies a lot of Puminati are like-minded people and are homies and would be friends and just want to support me and want to listen. But it's like, I sometimes just think like this is a comedy farts podcast and like, they're probably not that into sports. I don't know. I feel like they're like, a lot of them found this podcast through you, the diva, Kevin, and you're not into sports. So for whatever reason, I assume that they're not either. But as I'm finding out, most of the Puminati aren't pussies like you.
No, I mean I'm always the odd man out. Oh, like most of the people I know, I'm the weirdo that doesn't like sports.
Well, Ellis, obviously huge into MMA and skateboarding and stuff, and he action sports, but like he doesn't like team sports, right? He's not into basketball, football, soccer, nothing like that, baseball.
I don't think he follows them too closely, but I think he'll, like, from time to time, maybe watch a basketball game or a football game. And I know he watched the Super Bowl. Right. He was tweeting it. He was live tweeting it.
Yeah, I think as someone who's pretty much an athlete himself, he probably appreciates their athleticism and all that shit. But
yeah,
again, I don't know. That's kind of my long-winded explanation for never really shouting out my sports betting podcast. I didn't think anyone cared.
All right, let's take a listen to this human. Oh, by the way, you should also listen to Fade the Media, Jeff's second podcast.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this week. I'm going to talk about Judas and the Black Priest, or Black Messiah, excuse me. Judas and the Black Messiah. We're going to review that with my homie Azza. We'll talk about the 25th anniversaries of All Eyes on Me and the Fugees' The Score. All Eyes on Me is Tupac, of course. And then we'll talk about NBA. We're going to give our all-star game rosters or who we think should be in. I would have watched Judas and the Black Messiah to review on this podcast, and I'll talk about it next week. But I just didn't have enough time, dude. I couldn't stay up past 8:30 last night. I fell asleep.
I know. There's a lot of stuff to watch. I've got that on my watch list too. HBO Max exclusive. But yeah, I want to check that out. I hear
the soundtrack
awesome.
goes hard, dude.
Yeah,
we can do that for homework this week.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Yeah, You guys, there's a couple of tracks you might like on the soundtrack. I'm gonna send them to you, Kevin. Nas. I know you're not big into Jay-Z, but Nas does a track. Black Thought does a track from the Roots, and Jay-Z does a track, and it's pretty good. The soundtrack as a whole is really good, actually.
Nice. I'll check it out. All right. How about this human?
Hey, Matt Sinus Party Hour. Jeff from Alberta. Just joined the podcast. You've been listening since the beginning. Recently started listening to some old episodes. And thinking if there's new listeners that just came over, they should check out some old ones, some classics like Poop and Kathy, Fart Wars, Shuddy's Power Hour there where he gets loser drunk, Baking with Jeffy Cakes, and my all-time classic favorite, roast beef or camel toe. Anyways, boys, you guys been killing it lately. If anyone's on the fence about joining the Patreon, I highly recommend it.
Thanks, friend.
Jeff likes to pull out his big wet melons every once in a while, so head on over there if you got a chance. Take it easy, boys. Bye.
Covered all the hits.
Yeah.
All the hits he got.
Man.
Dude, roast beef or camel toe is gonna get me fired one day.
Horrible thing. Yeah, that does
lose
not
money off of that.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to the Patreon. We all got together and recorded a special milestone episode of What the Fuck Did I Just Watch, where we did a deep dive on Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. That was a fun adventure this weekend.
And we also got to watch Uncle Tim and Aunt Bridget.
Oh, on Supermarket
Queefs.
Yeah. A Puminati member hit us up. Their aunt and uncle appeared on an episode of Supermarket Sweep from the 90s, and they got us the YouTube link. So we did a commentary episode on that one, which was...
Yep.
That was fucking
They left
sweet.
out some vital information, which ended up being quite hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one... This looks like a long one.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
I don't know.
A Dom MSPH wrestling recap.
I don't know what sticky, dark corner of the internet I found you three, but I listened to an episode. And I have to say, I think you guys are familiar. That's the word I'd use. I remember guys like you in middle school and high school, oddballs, people who couldn't conform with normal life, and so they found each other, and they found their interests, whatever it would be, My Little Pony.
Wrong, I didn't have any friends in high school.
Matrix, you name it. So they stuck together at the exclusion of all other social skills and all other development. They hang out, they laugh, a lot of inside jokes are created that only they find funny. But then the sleepovers start. And a few of those go by until one day, inevitably, one of you says, "Hey guys, is my penis weird?" And you show it, and you laugh. But it progresses. And 3 sleepovers later, you're jacking each other off, licking each other, doing things that create the illusion of intimacy, the intimacy that's never found its way to you and will never find its way to you. College comes, you drift apart. You promise you'll get in touch, but things just drift apart. And suddenly you're alone. And loneliness starts to define you. It starts to gnaw away at you until it becomes your defining feature. Now
I actually have a boner right now.
Trying to cobble together some masculinity, trying to pretend that you're normal, that you're not that same strange boy jerking off another strange boy in the basement of some other strange boy's home.
Strange
and
boys.
Now you're faced with loneliness, failure, a total lack of friendship and intimacy with another human being. And you worry that one day it will end. And much like the action figures that you keep in your boxes, pretending that one day those action figures will have value and someone will want them, you'll end up much like that action figure, still.
This is the greatest voicemail we've ever gotten.
And waiting to find a home. I'll keep listening. I'll keep listening.
Wow.
Man, that guy got all that from one episode.
First of all, sir, thank you for the voicemail. Thank you for listening to that one episode. You just spoiled episode 1000. We were totally going to 69 for episode 1000. but you ruined that. So
Yeah, guess we'll have to do something different.
yeah. Holy shit! Wow, good. It's a good little, I don't know, fan fiction.
Really took us on a journey. That was a concise, well thought out and executed voicemail. My goodness.
On the first shot, like, did he had to be written, right?
I hope at the very least rehearsed.
Yeah.
Good for him. Hopefully he didn't just listen once, put all that effort into a voicemail, and then stop listening. Hopefully that's part of the joke.
It would be really cool if he never listened again, actually. I want as many listeners as I could, but that would make him the coolest if he just walked away from the podcast.
That's because like I couldn't imagine giving a podcast a shot, being like, this isn't for me, but I'm going to leave them a journey of a voicemail.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Like
drop the mic after voicemail.
If so, like, wow, what a go-getter.
Yeah.
And you know, these voicemails, like, it leaves everybody's phone number, but this is the only time I think I've ever seen this happen. It left the name of the law firm he works at that he must have called from.
So he called from work.
Yeah. So, hey, shout out to your law firm.
Save that number. We might need legal counsel one day.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you don't truly hate us for whacking each other off. And would like to rep us someday.
Yeah, we're just being pros. I don't know. We're tight. What do you want me to say?
You want to do another one?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's roll through.
All right.
Damn it. You're over there taking notes.
What's up, guys? I was listening to you talking to Christian and about serious stock prices. I bought 2,500 shares at 9 cents in 2007. Yeah, it's been very nice. Keep up the work, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Wow. Thank you for listening, Mark Zuckerberg.
I know. I can't believe Sirius was trading at 9 cents. Wait, when did Howard go to Sirius?
In 2006. Wait, that can't be true. He went
right,
to
I remember.
and I think he made the announcement in 2005. How would it be 9? No.
I'm calling bullshit, buddy. I'm calling bullshit.
Because you know what?
9 cents.
I actually did buy shares of Sirius when Howard announced he was going, because he kept making this, like, he drummed up a lot of hype and interest before making the announcement. And he kept saying, like, I got a big announcement coming. I got a big announcement. And then he gave the date. And he's like, huge, huge, huge announcement on this date. And I knew he was going to announce, like, I'm going to satellite radio. So, like, that was back when they were two separate companies. And I was like, fuck, is he going to go to XM or is he going to go to Sirius? So the second he said Sirius, I, like, called a stock brokerage and bought some stock. And it was for sure not at 9 cents a share in 2005.
So 2,500 shares at 9 cents a share cost $225.
But, okay,
Today,
we can look.
That $225 is $15,225.
Did you can find the historical stock prices that Sirius and any company traded at, I believe. I think it's free data. I don't think you have to have, like, a subscription, any, like, financial software website or whatever, but, like, 9 cents.
Also could have.
That sounds like Arrow Time. Like, who's 9 fucking cents?
He could have the date wrong.
Like, as soon, like, you know what that stock does as soon as it's found out that they're putting it in cars, like they're manufacturing it in cars, like that.
No, it did that already. So in 2009, it was 10 cents a share.
What?
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck
So-
did I buy? Did I get tricked?
In 2004, it spiked from $2 a share up to $7 a share at the end of at the beginning of 2004, beginning of 2005.
Yeah, because I think it was around maybe $5 a share when I bought it. Maybe.
And
But how
then
did it fall that low? 9
Beginning
cents.
of end of 2008, beginning of 2009, it was right around 10 cents a share.
But
its high was in 2000, February 17th, 2000 at $66 a share.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm confused. So I understand that it would plummet after the 2008 financial crisis, but he said he bought it for 9 cents in 2007. It was trading. Was it trading at 9 cents in 2007?
No, it was not. It was not. So he could have the year wrong, which I did preface this by saying.
But so it was trading for 10 cents a share while Howard Stern was on Sirius satellite radio.
Yes.
Okay. Next voicemail. My brain's broken on that. I just can't. Okay.
The first year he was there, so 2005,
right,
ranged from $8.50 a share down to $5.30 a share. And
dollars.
Yes. And then 2006 on, it just plummeted. It plummeted between 2006 and 2009.
And it went to 10 cents. And what's it trading at today?
609 was what it's trading at when the market closed today.
$6.09.
$6.09.
Maybe we should move on to the next voicemail before Jeff melts.
I mean,
if he's this confused now, just wait till Shuddy Boy's fanny flapping fucking news.
I'm not confused. No, all the words that you're saying make sense. I'm just very, very surprised. It went from $60. They got Howard Stern. It went down to 9 cents. He hops in at 9 cents. I wish I did that, and now it's up to $6 a share. You said what was the growth on 9 cents?
All right, is this something we can handle off air?
Is it like 6,000%? It's like 6,000%?
Something like that.
I want to charge that guy more for Patreon if he's a subscriber.
Well,
actually,
for some reason,
for free, and he gives us financial advice.
I wasn't very good at the math, but after Shuddy Boy was like, he made $15,000, I was thinking he was like a fucking millionaire or something off of that. But that's
$225 into $15,000 though.
I mean, yeah, that's a huge hike, but I was only looking at 2,500 shares at 9 cents. So like, without being able to process that quick math, he only spent $200 and whatever to like. He must have $5 billion. Whoa!
Wait, Kevin, did you buy at 10, sell at 9 cents, and you're gonna always lose apparently? But did you lose the most in your serious stock trading?
No, because I remember I bought it thinking it was just going to skyrocket with Howard announcing he was going there. And it did go up.
Totally.
It went up, but just not a fuckload. So like I was like, oh, well, fuck it. I'll just hold on to it for a while. And I definitely didn't sell it when it was at pennies. I only lost a little bit of money. I didn't put that much. That's why I suck. I never put that much in anyway. Like we were talking about cryptos last week. Cryptos had another awesome week. And it's just like, fuck. If I wasn't such a damn coward, I would be where this guy, I thought this guy was. Like if I put real money in, would have been huge stuff. But now it's just like, all right, cool, made a little bit of money, but nothing to like get me out of Poop Slime Alley or anything.
I can't wait to look at these images Shuddy's sending me because I
why don't you
don't
do that
believe
while
the
I play?
internet.
Yeah, I'll play the next
It's just a
voicemail,
picture of the graph.
and Jeff will look at graphs. We'll do one more voicemail.
Oh my God. After listening to that last episode, what the fuck is wrong with Jeff? Eating cold fast food? I do not know who hurt you as a child, but I'm sorry, man. That is fucked up. Also, you're like, oh, on the snack attack, yeah, I'll give it a full touchdown, 7 points. No wonder you suck at gambling. A touchdown is 6 points. What is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with people? Fuck!
Oh man, that guy again. Thanks for the voicemail. No, I mean I just mean that like, what the fuck is wrong with people? He's a regular listener and voicemail.
Yeah, I think I might be going on his podcast sometime.
You are?
I think so. Yeah.
What? Nice, dude. Yeah, you're the face and the diva of this organization. You need to go out there and you need to do the guest spots. Yeah. Me and Shuddy, we're gonna hang behind the scenes, do most of our damage behind the paywall. Selfishly, just capitalize off your divaness. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Snack. Oh, cold fast food. Oh, also no. This is a good point. So we did supermarket queefs as we talked about earlier, and we had met up on Saturday. I forget what time. It's supposed to be like 10:30. I showed up like 10 minutes late because I wanted to hurry up and cook myself up some eggs and bacon, right? But I didn't eat it. So I finished cooking up the eggs and bacon. We connect. We talk all the shit. It was me, you, and Dom and Shuddy were recording What the Fuck Did I Just Watch on Supermarket Queefs. I had finished making my eggs and bacon. We did the intro. I waited a few more minutes before turning on my movie, and then I probably ate the eggs and bacon like 35 to 45 minutes after I cooked it. So it's just like a consistent thing that I do.
You're just fucking disgusting.
Make the food and I eat it cold.
You are just
like a weirdo.
So gross.
It's not like I don't think it's a dirtiness thing. I'm not like the fucking kids and don't tell mom the babysitter dead, but
it's still foul. That's really disgusting.
I just eat cold food. I don't know.
Yes, I do like green eggs and ham.
I got five guys burgers and fries last night I just got it for dinner and I ate that hot. Well, as hot as Postmates delivered it.
Well, congratulations.
And I thought
Jeff.
about you guys.
Congratulations on eating hot food that was actually supposed to be hot.
Right.
You did it.
I guess then I take extra points for granted. What the fuck is wrong with people? Excuse me.
Well, I'm proud of you, Jeff, and I'm proud of us. We did it. We made it. And thank you to the Puminati for listening. If you need more MSPH in your life, like we said, that Patreon's just waiting for you. And it is cram-packed to all orifices. This is of fun stuff.
Nice.
Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour if you want to check that out. And if you'd like to be a part of voicemails, like these fine humans, you can just call 201-472-0139 and leave a message after the beep. Or you can always just shoot your emails to madscientistpartyhour@gmail.com if you don't want your voice to be featured. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeffro Records. Fucking hate Instagram.
And at MSPH Podcast on both. Shuddy, you got anything you need to throw out? Any Chuckle Hut dates?
Nope, no Chuckle Hut dates this week. Sorry, guys.
They've been canceled. Snowstorm. Oh, for a second I thought Jeff had something to say, but you were just frozen. Never mind.
No, I got boogies I gotta pick.
Making
my face.
We'll let you get to that. We'll let you tend to your boogies. Thanks for listening, friends. But until next time, something.